Okay? Now, in developing the theme, please do not be like a lot of Nigerians, the way they trained us in school. You just cram and write the answer. Or you will do wuru and shall get the answer. Or you get expo and get the answer. In Nigeria, we like to just get the answer. The process of getting the answer, nobody tells us. But you see, we are trying to build a new generation of poets who are seasoned. And so in developing your theme, please do the requisite research. So do not write what you don't know. Do you understand? If you intend for, now this, I'm pretending, right? Or I'm assuming, I beg your pardon, I'm not pretending. I'm assuming that everybody here wants to be an acclaimed poet. Everyone who raised their hand up, isn't it? Yeah. If you want to be an outstanding poet, your poems have to be outstanding. So if you're writing a thought, for instance, if you're writing a political poem, you cannot afford to write the wrong years of what happened. Like you cannot mistakenly say, when we get our independence in the year 1969. You can't do that. Do you understand what I'm saying? The importance of research. So find the answers for what you are writing on. I prefer for people to write what they know. So I'm the kind of poet who will write from my heart. It's what I feel about something. Right? That way I can say, it's my opinion. But once I will ask my father questions. I will place a call to someone, a charge card, and put it on my phone and call that place and get the right answer. So that when I am speaking and I'm saying something that is political, but I'm saying that it's a record of history, I'm actually speaking facts. So please do your research. If anybody has listened to F.A. Paul's poem, the one about, no, not that one, the one about Hope is a Nigerian. Yeah. Hope is a Nigerian? Yeah. Hope is a Nigerian and they've kidnapped something in my country. Justice has been kidnapped in my country. You would hear him talk about some meetings that happened in the year, blah, blah, blah. Talk about, a lot of people are just there moving with it, this and that. But do you know that the people who are going to possibly critique his poem in order to rate him or rank him will also critique his poem based on the facts that he has declared as true. So do your research. If you're writing a poem that involves Yoruba, another language, I use Yoruba because it's just my default language, but if you're writing a poem that has another language in it, please do not write what you think the word ants in Igbo means. They not come up here and then you are saying it and the people that are Igbo are just hearing, a tree climbed up the anthill. A tree climbed up because you're busy saying the wrong thing. I'm trying to get into your minds because in Nigeria we like to do the easy way out. I have a poem called Ilewa. I have never been able to perform that poem because it involves an oriki and I do not know how to write orikis. So for the past 2 years, I started writing that poem 2 years ago. For the past 2 years, I haven't been able to find someone who has the conch kind of oriki because it's not a proper oriki. I'm writing what I want in English and I'm asking the person to orikitize it. Right? So it's difficult because it's not something that they already know. But you see, I've refused to perform that poem because the research is not complete. So please write next to it. Do not come on stage unless it's almost perfect. Because when you've done your research, apply that research to you. Example with Snip. I always give an introduction to Snip and on point, their top is on point, their little bag is on point, right? And I'm thinking, you are selling tomatoes. How could you afford this weave on? Do you understand? Some things just don't add up, right? And so I kept thinking, this thing needs to be cut. This thing needs to be cut. Every different aspect that I spoke about in Snip, the thoughts that kept coming to my mind was this thing needs to be cut. And that's how come I came up with the word snip. That's part of developing your poetry. If you're the kind of person who is performing, it's usually nice where you have something that you can repeat. Not every stanza, not every next line, not every other, like when Promise, is his name Increase? his poem, he kept on saying, dear brother. Was it dear brother he kept on? Big brother, right? So there was something that you went away with. He was either writing to his actual biological big brother, or he was writing to the society that was going to teach him what to do, or he was writing to someone who would be in the position of a mentor that will influence whatever decision, and he was telling that person to please be responsible for me. Oh, I love you, but I'm likely to make mistakes. Please be responsible for me. But he kept on coming back to the fact that it was a big brother, right? And so that's what I'm saying. You have to have something that the crowd can connect with, because you can't assume that everybody in your crowd is either a poet, likes poetry, or has your time. That's the truth. You can't assume that they're all there because once you get on stage and just, no. Do you understand? So you have to have something that will resonate with them, right? And so write it down, record it, apply your research to your theme, and then start to develop it. Now, when I'm saying record it or write it down, what I'm saying is don't lose the point, because this thing is like a spirit. The words can come and they can go just as quickly. You can have the idea of a fantastic poem, but before you write it down, somebody else has done it on stage. Has that happened to anybody before? And you just be there thinking, that was my, you know? But if you don't do it, if you don't put it down, if you don't write it down, if you don't record it on voice notes, if you're not with a notepad, if you're not with a pen, if you have a phone that has a recorder, quickly say those lines. On my way here this afternoon, actually on my playbook, a song came to me. I was driving, I parked the car, I quickly put on my playbook because I don't know how to use that on my phone. So I quickly put on my playbook and recorded the idea of the song quickly before it goes. It's the same thing I do for poems. On my phone right now, I have the ideas, the themes for certain poems, because sometimes my poems come to me with just the title, sometimes. Sometimes it's just the title that comes, and then I develop a poem to fit that title. Sometimes I get the resonating one, like the snip, or like the wait, before you pour that seed deeper than her womb, be careful. Sometimes those words just come to me. I just write it down. There's a poem called Rigged. The title came to me like 2.5 or 3 years ago, and I only put a poem to it this year. Good example. There's a poem, Come Bearing Seed. When I first wrote the poem, because angry poems. So when I wrote Come Bearing Seed, I was in that spirit. You know, sometimes spirits come upon us poets. I was just in that spirit of just being angry. So I wrote the poem. The person is a lawyer in my law firm. Just a random, if I feel sorry for people around in my life, because I just burden them with all kinds of things. The thing I would just be I said, just random person's reaction. And try not to practice with people that love you. Try not to. Because I just say, try not to practice with only people that love you. It's good to do it with people that love you so that you can encourage you, but try to practice it on random people. So I called Jamie and I was like, listen to this poem. And then, what are you shouting at us? I was like, should I be calm? And he goes, yes, you want us to wait, so say wait. And that was a beautiful thing. Every time I perform that poem, even if I've just done a snip that is angry, before I do Come Bearing Seed, I calm down. Because there is a tone to your voice, and this is where we are going into stage. I don't need the book for that. When you go to perform, I said something before that don't assume that everybody there wants to hear your voice. Mere voice, isn't it? You will leave it to that person to put a tone. You will leave it to that person to put a character. But because you're a performance poet, you have to put it in your words when you stand on stage. And so what I do is that I record my poems. And then when I'm in the car, I play them on repeat. Just the fact that I'm hearing them over and over and over and over again. Meanwhile, remember, this is me who reads my poems. So you guys who come from Olulu's training school, you know you have to learn your words and you cannot recite them from a book, right? Now, even though I recite my poems from a book or from a playbook, I still listen to them over and over and over and over again. I still rehearse them over and over and over again before I get on stage. So sometimes I'm in my car with headphones and I'm just hearing, I wear Gucci and so by the time I'm on stage, I'm in character. So right, get into character. get into character once you get on stage. After you have owned your space, and I'm sure you're wondering, how do I own my space? Now, when you go to, if it's a poetry event organized by someone or an open mic event like Jumoke organizes, they would help you by saying, please, our poetry session, you have to be quiet. You have to, if the person forgets, what will you do? You now get on stage and say, thank you for introducing me. Sorry, please, can you come back? So you have to own your space. And what I started doing, and the first time I found out that I needed to do it was when I went to perform in Unilag. There were like 2,000 students. And the people that performed before me, that's another thing about owning your space. They were a dance group. They had come and done, and people were like, yeah! They left the stage, people were still dancing. They said, please welcome a poet. Donna.
You're gone.
So I started doing something. I'll start by saying, the poet, she needs your voice. She needs your silence. She needs your attention and she needs your encouraging words. You need to say things like, when you don't know what on earth she's talking about. Now, when you say when you don't know what on earth she's talking about, what you're doing is you're acknowledging the people in that crowd who are not poets, who do not really like poetry, who may not understand what you're saying. Like if you do a poem that has too much imagery and things, Jumoke will come and say, me, I don't know what she was saying, no. Because that's not her thing. But you have to respect your audience. You have to respect who they are. So when you do that, you are acknowledging those people in the crowd who do not understand, who may not understand what you're there to do. And I have to weave on with heels that can pay the bills. I wear my outdoor designer outfits, though my heart is filled with pigs. I wish someone would say, I love you. And for once, actually mean it. I wear my spinsterhood like a well-cut jacket and paste on it designer labels like Gucci, Still Single, and Prada Sadness. The fragrances that fill my empty womb. I wear the lonely reality of the independent and strong black woman. I do not know how to manipulate or scheme, so I sew on the pretense of a warrior and place on my hair a Brazilian weave. What do you wear? I wear a foreign accent. And I own a foreign certified degree. Still at night I go to bed without electricity. I wear the morning like a burning on these Lagos streets. I repeat my dirty politeness, but damn, I can't stand the heat. I wish I could go back home, abroad where everything is nice and neat, but this is where the money is. This is the land of opportunity. It baffles me how I just can't get up and leave. You see, my father, he has absolute control over me, although I'm already 36. But I wake up daily and hit the floor running. I swear in pidgin English and I curse in Yoruba when the power goes out. But as soon as I step out of my bedroom door, I'm again the queen. I wear my foreign accent and flaunt my foreign certified degree. I pretend that nothing has a hold over me. What do you wear? I wear the panic of a broke cheap man. Living my life off different men. At night, my sleep is bothered by hailstones and fires, the insults and prayers cast by the words of some of these my men. I sought them out at the place where three roads meet at night. Men, I would not go out without a fight. My shoes are made by survival. I step into them without regret. See, I wear my reality with pride. My sister, I can take all of your men from you without breaking a sweat. There is an upper class seat waiting and someone needs to pay for it. This body will not keep firm forever. It needs to cash out those checks. What do you wear? I wear the opportunities of my social circle. I shop at Harrods and Selfridges alone. Not because of any money that I've earned for myself, but because of all of these people that I know. You see, in this world, it's pedigree that matters. I'm not even aware the power gets withheld. I have never known the price of diesel, but I know what it means like to be alone. Boarding houses all of my life and an arranged marriage in tow. Still, I've come to love this man, although he's never at home. But this is the marriage my mother had, and one I've come to know. I wear super exposure and upper class. I will have it no other way. This is my reality. I swear I'm super classy. What do you wear? I wear the marriage of opportunity. I'm the one with that diamond ring. I do not care for him and he doesn't love me. Still, I'm friends with all of his family. He is sleeping with one of my friends. That's okay. I have slept with her husband. My mind is steady and focused. Infidelity cannot stand in my way. We all know what we're here for. I have given all my children his name. When him and his father are dead, their riches and wealth will be ours to gain. I saw my mother suffer shame and penury as the fourth wife of 6, so from school I carefully chose the friends with whom I would mix. I lied and cheated my way up here, and I'm not about to lose it. I wear the schemes of a streetwise woman. My mother taught me well. What do you wear? I wear a diet and fashion trends and gossip. Knowledge is power, and the tabloids, they're there to supply a wealth of information. I wear the knowledge of everyone's names at parties. I know where they work, what they earn, and who they recently slept with. I go to bed content. I have done my daily bit. It does not matter that regarding my own life and destiny, I do not know shit. Myself. There was once I would have fought for righteousness, but what's that about? I'm not a complete mess. Each one I see fights for nothing substantial except shoes and big name weave on. They clamor for fame and cheap fortunes and those sickening travel bags by Louis Vuitton. I see them arrive at airports in high heels and perfume, even though that place stinks. I tried to balance faith and reality, and I came up with this weird mix. I spoke logic at posh dinner parties and spoke patiently to atheists. I even slept with this one guy, but what a waste of sin. He had no bedroom skills and he didn't even propose to me. Now I'm sick from double dealing between faith and worldliness. I'm struggling to find my way back home, trying to rise through all of this mess. I'm tired in this fight of faith of being alone, the one who will truly believe that men can be faithful, women submissive, that prayers do not need the addition of juju to make them effective, and that teenage children do not need expensive mobile phones, and there's nothing wrong with abstinence. There are more virgins in this world than the poultry number 6. I'm tired of being called those born-again Christians. You know, the ones that sleep around and in church bless? I'm tired of saying that they're not all terrorists who bow down to pray and rise to follow the faith of the Prophet Muhammad. I'm sick and tired of trying to be real when my friends panic not being seen flying upper class. I'm tired of girls emptying all of their savings just to buy one big name bag and then turn around and ask me, please, can you pay for a meal in Mama Cass? I wear the burden of the tired and worn-out believer of my faith. What do you wear? I am doctor, I am lawyer, I'm musician, I'm student, I am educated, albeit only in my own mind. I'm a sponsor, I'm defendant, I'm fulfilled, I'm discontent. A villager, I've just come to Lagos, I'm a student, I'm dating a politician, I'm faithful, I'm promiscuous, I am a candidate, I'm principal, I'm believer, I'm atheist, I'm prosecutor, I am judge, and I wear this life daily, and the things I've done that define me, I wear my good and bad decisions on the path on which it has led me, I wear all that I have become, and sometimes not everything I should be, I wear the burden of being, I wear the burden of living, I wear that woman. What do you wear? Thank you. Talk about Nigeria.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. Nigeria, 3 words, 3 lines. Okay. I would say Nigeria is my country, but sometimes I'm perplexed in this country. Then I was moved to ask a widow. Then she told me, son, that a nation without a credible leader to follow will struggle to survive like an unfortunate widow. Son, think about these words. Thank you.
So what was your theme of Nigeria?
I was looking at the political scene about how we are being led by leaders that know what's leading.
Okay, can someone quickly tell me what tone he used? Any of the poets that were listening? Quickly. What tone was he using? Anger. Great. Now, despondent, correct. Nice English, very correct. Only you. Anger, despondent, what else did you hear?
Aggressive.
Sorry?
Aggressive.
It was aggressive. Okay, that was his performance, right? That was his performance. What else? Frustrated. Did anybody hear the sadness of the widow? A nation without dependable leaders to follow will bear the what? The what?
A nation without a credible leader to follow will struggle to survive like an unfortunate widow.
Did you hear the struggle? Did you hear the sadness of that unfortunate widow? No. You didn't? Okay, I heard that. Did you hear that? Okay. So what it means, Sylvester, and thank you for being the only bold one to come out. What it means, Sylvester, is that you may need to work on the part where you're speaking as the widow. You may need to soften the tone and put in some sadness, or some sorrow, actually. Some sorrow in that line, right? Because only 2 people in this room heard it, right? So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope I have helped you guys.